All right, I'm Nick. Today we have the Ruger RXM. We are going to shoot a variety of defensive ammo through it. Now, this is the same batch of ammo we shot through the Echelon 4.0C the other day. Okay, so we're going to start off with some Barnes 115 grain. We'll do some Hornady Critical Duty, which is 135 grain flex lock. We got some SIG V Crown right here, which is 115 grain as well. And then we have this Nav X stuff, which is 65 grains, and it was actually a really big shock last time. It shot, the group was incredible last time we shot it, all right? So, don't know what to think. We did have some questions about running defensive ammo through the RXM, so we're just going to do that. The slide stop issue, I wouldn't say it's 100% fixed yet by any means whatsoever. However, I'm not too concerned about it. We'll blame it on the magazines, we'll blame it on me. I don't really care. I have seen some comments where people just took a high quality Gen 3 slide stop with a better piece of metal, which is just a bent piece of metal that's spring, right? And they've put that in there and it solved their problems. I haven't got that far yet. I'm not terribly concerned about it because it's not a bad pistol in my mind. It's just not for me, and that's okay. We're going to run 10 rounds of each. The first 5 shots, we'll shoot it for a group, and then the last 5 shots, we'll run at center target as fast as we can. And we're going to start off with this Barnes TAC XPD. You guys get a better look at the box right there. This stuff, we've never had any kind of malfunctions from it. We have had questionable accuracy compared to other ammo in the past, but every gun is different, okay? For me, I typically run Hornady Critical Defense, that's Critical Duty, and my carry guns in 9mm. Everybody has their own personal preference, nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you test it in your gun. That way you know how it does, okay? So we're going to start off with Barnes. We're at about 8 yards right here from the target. Which one is Barnes? Bottom left. Also, I may need glasses, but that is what it is, okay? So first 5 will be controlled, and then we'll run the rest of them center mass. All right. That's a pretty solid group, low right for 4 of them. Now, you can say it's my trigger finger. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. We're just going to run the rest of them center mass into the target as fast as it'll go. All right. One a little high. That's pretty much the same group if you look at it. It's the same group size. And we'll go up there. We'll guys get you a better image of those holes here in a minute. No malfunctions out of the Barnes, though, which I don't expect us to have any kind of malfunctions. We didn't have any ammo-related malfunctions or failure to feed with the gun when we shot it 500 rounds through it. We did have some slide stop issues, which no big deal at the end of the day, because most people are right-handed and it probably wouldn't impact them, but it is what it is. So gonna load up 10 rounds of the Hornady Critical Duty. Remember, it's 135 grain. It's a flex lock bullet, and we'll see how it does. Let's fast forward through this. All right, so the Hornady Critical Defense, that's that bottom right dot. And when we're done, we'll walk up there and we'll talk about it a bit more. But we'll start off with 5 slow rounds. All right, those are all pretty low, a quality group. Once again, the Barnes will probably have the biggest group. You could say the Barnes is my finger, but once you shoot a different bullet through it and you don't have that same problem, you start to look at the ammo just not being accurate out of the pistol. We're going to run the same next 5 center mass as fast as it'll go. All right, that's a quality group compared to, except for we have 1 flyer, right? 1 high. We'll go down and look at it in a minute. But not a bad group. It would definitely do the job, and we had 0 malfunctions. Moving on. Remember, we're saving this 65 grain stuff for last because last week it was a wild experience for us too. And I look forward to shooting it again. So we're going to load up 115 grain V Crown. This is typically the cheapest defensive ammo we can buy around here that I would recommend anyways. It always runs well, and we typically have a really good group out of the guns with it. So let's get it loaded up. All right. The SIG is to the top right. First 5, take our time, make a decent shot. That was a terrible trigger pull. All right, that first one, you can say was definitely me. That was a terrible trigger pull. I don't even know exactly where it went, to be honest with you. But the group is good. Definitely low right. We'll put one more in there just for the heck of it. All right, so the group of 5 is really good, but the one outlier just being me. We'll run these last 4 center mass. All right, no issues there, no malfunctions, which I honestly don't expect there to be any malfunctions. We had some questions about defensive ammo, so we wanted to bring the RXM out and shoot it one last time before I sell it off to the world. There are some things I definitely do not like about it. And honestly, the more time I spend with it and the more time I look at it, the more questions I have. It's just not for me, okay? I'm not saying it's a bad pistol. Remember, it's a one of one. Maybe you got one and it's just the absolute greatest thing you've ever shot. That's awesome. Let's fast forward through reloading. This is that NAV X ammo. It's called Engagement. It says Extreme. It's a Ruger plus P, and it's 65 grain ammo, okay? So let's fast forward through reloading it. All right, we're loaded up. The top left dot is our aiming point. There are a few rounds in that area that we'll look at in a minute, but we should be good to go. First 5 will be halfway controlled. All right, it's not a terrible group right there, okay? We're gonna run the rest of them probably like the belly button area. That way we have no targets messed up. All right, now let's go up there and have a look. All right, so we shot the barns first here, which the group is pretty low right. We can blame that on my trigger finger. Then we shot the Hornady, which obviously a little bit low, a little bit right, but not nearly as far as the barns. Then we shot the V Crown, which was also low right. A pretty darn good group with one flyer, which was completely me. This is a terrible trigger pull. I don't even know where it went. And then all of these holes here are from that NAV X 65 grain, which is not to the right. Now you could say the shooting to the right is me. You can say maybe the sights aren't perfect. We've never really checked that gun too much, all right? We just pull it out and shoot it. And in a self-defense situation, being an inch and a half off to the right when this is your target, not a big deal, okay? You're going to be all right with that. Even if the gun's not perfectly accurate, maybe the sights aren't perfectly on. That happens all the time from the factory. We could drift the rear sight to fix that, but we're not going to, okay? Overall, we didn't have any malfunctions out of the RXM with any defensive ammo, which is cool. And there's a bunch of different variations of defensive ammo that you could test in yours. I definitely recommend testing whatever you plan to carry. It is interesting. The Barnes always has the worst situation. I don't know what it is. And then the SIG group is always super tiny. Like, it's just a really good group for having people within the comment section said it's pretty cheap ammo for what it is, but it's shoots pretty darn accurate. And then this 65 grain stuff is still, I don't know, I'm still perplexed about it. It's super lightweight. It doesn't even feel real, but it has shot really well out of the last 2 guns we've used. I'd be interested in putting that stuff in like a variety of PCCs and stuff and just seeing how fast you can go with it, just because I'm curious and it's extremely weird. That's it though, okay? Ruger RXM, we put 500 rounds of range ammo through it. We put 4 different types of defensive ammo through it. No malfunctions with any of that. Some slide stop issues. That's it. I don't really have anything positive, negative to say about it. Okay, I enjoyed shooting it. We're going to actually sell that bad boy because I'm just not the biggest fan, and it is what it is. I will say, if you're still watching, I like the Ruger RXM more than I like the Kimber R7 Mako Carbon Compact. No doubt. If I could only have one, I would keep the RXM and I'd just fix the slide stop issue. I hope you guys have a good weekend.